So, the topic what we are going to discuss today is modular programming, and this is Dr. S. Mohan Lakshmi, Professor and Head, Department of ECE, Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. So, on completion, the students will be able to understand the concept and advantages of modular programming. They will be able to explain the assembly language components, and they will be able to compare and contrast procedure and macros. So, what is modular programming? Programming task is divided into subtasks. Separate modules are written for performing these subtasks. So each module is tested separately. The common routines required in modules are written in separate module and they are called from individual modules. Programming done in this fashion is called modular programming. So what are the advantages of modular programming? So code, it can be short, it is simple and easy to understand. It is easier to design, test, and debug a single module as compared to an entire program. The scoping of variables can easily be controlled. Documentation can be easily understood. You can retype the codes where you can avoid frequently used modules or stored into the libraries, and this can be used by several programs. It is easy to do modifications, if any, in a single module rather than in a program. So, what are the assembly language components? So, we have four components over here, what is classified into four types, which is linking and relocation, structure, procedures or subroutines, macros. So, this is how the program is executed. So, you could see a translator which will translate the program, and the second one is a linker. So, where this will link the program with other programs needed for its execution, and there will be a relocator where this relocation of the program to execute from the specific memory allocated to it. And the last step is a loading, where it is done by the loader, where the loading of the program in the memory for the purpose of execution is carried out. So this is how the created and the execution of assembly language program is performed. So where you could see a assembler uh, which will convert into a object module where this is linked, and finally this is loaded and the program is executed. So you could see a lot of object modules over here, and the commands are given in advance. So where every program there it is written in assembly language will be converted into object modules. The further it is linked and it is loaded to execute a program. So we have a concept called as a segment combination. In addition to all the linker commands, the assembler will provide a mean of regulating the way how the segments in different object modules are organized, preferably by the linker. So segment directory may have the form like segment name, segment combination type. So here the combine type indicates how the segment is to be located within the load module. Segments that have different names cannot be combined, and segments with the same name but no combined type will cause a linker error. So here the segments that have different names, you cannot combine it. And similarly, if it is having the same name but we don't have any combined type, there will be a linker error. So obviously there should be a segment name where it should have a combination type. So these are the combined types which is available for the segment combination. So which is public, so common, stack, AT combined type, memory. So once it is public, if the segments in different modules have the same name and combined type is public, then they are concatenated into a single element in the load module. The ordering in the concatenation is specified by the linker command. If the combined type is common, then the segments in different object modules will have the same name, and the combined type is common, then they are overlaid so that they have the same starting address. The length of the common segment is that of the longest segment being overlaid. if the combined type is stack. Okay, so if the segments are in different object modules and if have the same name and the combined type is stack, then they become one segment whose length is the sum of the lengths of the individually specified segments. In effect, they are combined to form one large stack. The AT combined type is followed by an expression that evaluates to a constant, which is to be the segment address. It will allow the user to specify the exact location of the segment in the memory. So, once the combined type is memory, it will cause a segment to be placed at the last of the load module. If more than one segment with the memory combined type is being linked, only the first one will be treated having the memory combined type. The others will be overlaid if they had common combined type. So you could see here the segment combinations which would have resulted because of public and common combination types. And if it is going to be public, then you can see that it is concatenated. And if it is going to be a common, then this has become a overlaid. So we have the third component, assembly language component, to be the procedure. It is a group of instructions stored as a separate program in the memory and it is called from the main program. The type of procedures depends on where the procedure is stored in the memory. There are two types of procedures. One you call it as near procedure, the other one is far procedure. If it is in the same code segment where the main program is stored, then it is called the near procedure. Otherwise, it is referred to as a far procedure. And here also, we have two aspects which you call it as a reentrant procedure and the recursive procedure. So, if for example, procedure 1 is called from the main program, procedure 2 is called from the procedure 1, and procedure 1 is again called from the procedure 2, then the program execution flow re-enters in the procedure 1. This type of procedures is called as re-entrant procedures. A recursive procedure is a procedure which will call itself. So recursive procedures, they are used to work with complex data structures. So the fourth assembly component is called as macro. It is again a group of instruction. So the macro assembler will generate the code in the program each time whenever the macro is called. So they are defined by macro and end m, which is an assembler directive. So example macro definition for initialization of segment register. So you could see here init macro, which will define a macro, and we have some statements like move x comma data, move ds, or move s comma ax, and end of macro. So whenever a macro init that is initial, for example, say it's called, these statements will be substituted. So this is a comparison of procedure and the macro. So procedure, it is normally accessed by call and return instruction during the program execution. Macro is accessed during assembly with a name given to the macro when defined. And coming to the procedure, the machine code for instruction is put only once in memory, whereas in macro, it is generated for every time whenever a macro is called. And here, procedure obviously takes less memory, whereas macro takes more memory. And here in the procedure, parameters can be passed in registers, memory location, or stack. And here in macro, parameters are passed as a part of statement which calls the macro. These are the possible assessment questions on modular programming. So listing the combined types for segment combination. What is macro? What is procedure? What is the difference between procedure and macro? And you could also list the advantages of modular programming. Thank you.